Welcome everyone to our weekly podcast. This is Mika talking and I'm here with my friends Kata, Lula and Sophie. Girls, say hi please.
Hi.
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 In today's episode, we'll be discussing how emoticons make our conversations easier and how to succeed in life.
Yes, nowadays we can communicate in many different ways like social media, in person, with our bodies, music and emoticons, also called emojis.
Yes, you have no idea how much I love emoticons. I use them all the time.
Yeah, what I like about them is that they help you to express your feelings better.
Yes.
I agree. Also, they made me seem more outgoing than serious.
Talking about that, our literature teacher, Laura Barrabés, gave us her opinion on how useful emoticons are. She explained that she sees them as an interesting way to summarize things and for informal conversations. But if the context is more formal or you don't know the person very well, it's a little risky.
Yeah, she also pointed out that words could never be replaced by emoticons because they have a special spark and mean much more than we think. Sometimes we underestimate that, and in fact I think she's right.
We also asked her if she used them on a daily basis, and she said she had always used emojis with her students because they really know her. That's so cute!
Well, we learned that emojis can mean different things depending on your age too. Adult people use them for what they were made for, and teenagers like us use them ironically, to joke around with friends.
Of course, imagine that you start talking to someone new and then they don't use emojis ironically. That's a big turn off.
Yeah, obviously, but I still love them. For example, my favorite emoji is the smiley face with the tongue out. What's yours?
I like the one that's blushing with hers around.
I love the one sticking its tongue out too, but I use the silent one a lot.
I use them if I want to be clear with what I'm saying. I would hate to sound rude or uninterested just because the person I'm texting can see my facial expressions.
Well, I use them almost every time I send a message, but mostly at the end of the sentence so I don't seem so serious.
Did you know that there are 3,000 emoticons and the most used one is the face with tears of laughter?
Really? I didn't know that.
I honestly didn't expect that one to be the most popular one. I feel like nobody uses it anymore.
Yeah, everyone used it in 2017, but I guess they still do. In fact, something that really impresses me is that over 5 million emojis are sent every day.
Wow, we really love to communicate with them. I believe it's true they can express our emotions so well.
For sure, we got so used to them that it's impossible to try texting without emoticons. It feels rude, right?
Yes.
Yeah. The other day I saw on TikTok that in fact the word comes from the Japanese language and it's a combination of picture and character.
That makes so much sense because sending an emoticon feels like sending a picture of us.
But less embarrassing.
No one to say the first goodbye. Had to love and lose 100 million times. Had to get it wrong to know just what I like. Now I'm falling.
Well, talking about emojis, have you ever heard about Shigetaka Kurita? Well, if you haven't, he's actually the creator of the emoticons we all know.
Oh yeah, he's a Japanese digital designer.
I've heard about him, yeah.
Yes, and believe it or not, he didn't earn any money at all for creating them. And that makes me think, if money is not correlated to success, then what makes a person successful?
Well, to answer this question, what we did was to ask our teacher Nacho Gonzalez about success.
We asked him what is success for him, and if he considers being famous and being successful mean the same. We also asked what the key to success was. Nacho considers that it's related to meeting the expectations you have for yourself. Perhaps you have a goal in mind, and being successful would mean reaching that expectation.
I agree. Well, at least for me, success means reaching a goal, small or big. It doesn't matter. You met your own expectations.
Well, he admitted that fame is more related to being recognized by others, while success is not so much related to other people knowing you. You've met your expectations, but rather yourself.
Yeah, he's so right. You don't need to be famous to be successful. I think that achieving your goals is enough to consider success.
We agreed that being successful and being famous is not the same. But at least, there's a lot of famous people that are successful though. Do you guys know someone who's successful and famous at the same time?
Actually, Kylie Jenner is a great example. She launched her self-owned cosmetic line, and apart from that, she's one of the top 10 most followed celebrities on Instagram.
Oh, Ariana Grande also launched her own cosmetic line, and she's also very well known in the music and acting industry. I consider her successful because she's happily married and not very active on social media, as she claims she's focusing on herself. Ariana achieved her own goals related to music too.
Yeah, they're all true fun people, but have you heard about Emma Chamberlain? She started as a YouTuber and now she's out there modeling at the Met Gala red carpet. She's a real fashion icon at the moment.
Nacho also said that the key to success is accepting help from others, having faith in yourself and God, being authentic, and not stepping on others.
Well, and I would like to quote something that Nacho said during the interview that I found very interesting. If I analyze my situation through what I believe success is, then I am successful. But society couldn't think the same, so it's a really broad concept.
Wow, everything he said is so interesting. I agree with him. Now, I want to ask you, do you guys consider yourselves successful?
You really got us with that one. I don't know if I consider myself a successful person, but what I know is that I do well in what I have to do, for example, in school and in my personal goals too.
Well, I guess I do. I've got friends and a family that loves me, you know? There's more than enough for me.
I think the same as Kata, and I think it's kind of what Nacho said. I'm successful, I do well in what I have to do, so yes.
Oh, yes, I agree with you girls. I have another question, a really interesting one. Do you want to become famous? Like one day be recognized by people? Would you be able to take fame?
Yes, I like to become famous and at the same time no. Because if you think about it, they practically don't have privacy. They are always exposed and are constantly judged for everyone and everything they do.
Yeah. And you girls?
Yeah, I love that. Besides meeting my own expectations and being successful, I like to be famous model so I can travel around the world and do what I like.
Oh, that's so nice. I hope it goes well then.
I don't think I would enjoy being famous. I'd rather do my own thing without having to worry about what other people think.
Totally understandable. I
Yeah.
believe I'm better this way with a private life.
Well, it was such an interesting conversation. There could be so many different opinions about success and emoticons. I'm glad we talked about it.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, you know what? Our listeners could send us their opinions about this on Instagram.
That's such a good idea, Gata. Well, we hope you had a great time with us and see you next week. We will be talking about the best places to go this winter. Don't miss it. Bye everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
So catch up, go put some cheese on it, get out and get your bread up.